What is up, my fellow Port Charles addicts? It is a beautiful but crazy Tuesday here in New York. The rain is pouring, but nothing is stormier than my mind right now. I am Luna Johnson from the GH Spoilers YouTube channel, and today we are breaking down an episode that literally had me screaming at my television screen at 2 a.m. Welcome back to the channel. I am still shaking, like physically shaking as I type this out on my keyboard. I have been watching General Hospital since the early 2010s. And I thought I had seen every single fake death trope this show could possibly throw at us. I mean, we have seen people come back from explosions, from drowning, from being shot point blank. But I did not see this coming at all, and I am usually the guy who predicts everything. I was sitting on my couch, wrapped in a blanket, fully expecting this to be just another miserable, depressing episode of Josslyn Jack suffering in that dark, damp Wyndemere basement. I mean, we all knew she was in deep trouble. We all saw her smash that chair over Cassius's head, and we all knew that the fake Nathan West was going to make her pay for it. But what actually happened next? My jaw is still on the floor. I need to vent, because my group chat is asleep and I am just vibrating with adrenaline right now. Can we talk about this masterpiece of an episode? Let's back up for a second and talk about the sheer terror of Josslyn's situation before the big reveal. So she is locked in this subterranean nightmare cell on Spoon Island. She is desperate. She is terrified. But she is a Spencer Jax, so she is obviously not going down without a fight. She pulls back the bed and finds that haunting message scratched into the wall. It was written by Anna Devane, the 31st of October 2025. That date alone sent absolute chills down my spine, because it proves that this exact room was used to torture Anna. Josslyn is putting the pieces together, realizing that Cassius is completely complicit in all of this sick, twisted, psychological warfare, and she did what any self-respecting daughter of Carly would do. She fought back. She grabbed that wooden chair and she swung for the fences. I was cheering for her. I really was. But then the harsh reality set in. Cassius is a highly trained operative, and a wooden chair isn't going to keep a guy like that down for long. And of course, Cassius recovers. The look on Ryan Pavy's face when he regained the upper hand was genuinely terrifying. I know some of you in the comments have been saying that you love seeing his dark side, and I get it. He plays a great villain. He has that icy phase-on blood running through his veins. But seeing him tower over Josslyn, ready to unleash absolute hell on her, for daring to fight back and strike him, was incredibly hard to watch. I was literally gripping the edge of my seat, yelling at the screen, "Somebody help her!" Because who was going to Dante is completely distracted, busy dealing with Lulu and Rocco's massive shooting cover-up. Jason is rotting in a WSB black site in Jakarta. Carly has absolutely no idea where her daughter even is, because she is too busy arguing with Valentine Cassadine over Jack Brennan's paralyzed body in her attic. Josslyn was completely and utterly alone, or so we thought. Wait, I am getting ahead of myself because this is the part where I actually lost my mind. Just as Cassius is stepping forward, his eyes full of that signature phase-on malice, ready to punish Josslyn for her defiance, a shadow moves. A literal shadow in the solid stone wall. One of those secret alcoves in the Wyndemere catacombs, the ones we haven't seen used properly since the early 2000s, just slides open. And out steps a man. A tall, dark, furious man. I squinted at my screen. I paused it. I rewound it. I paused it again to make sure my eyes weren't playing tricks on me in the middle of the night. It was Dex Heller. Am I the only one who completely bought into the narrative that Cyrus Reno had him killed? I mean, that they sold that story so incredibly hard. We all grieved. Josslyn grieved. We watched the emotional fallout. The tears, the absolute devastation of losing Dex. The show really made us believe that Cyrus had finally crossed the ultimate line and taken out Sonny's former enforcer. And here he is, standing in the flesh, looking like a literal ghost who just crawled out of the underworld to protect his girl. I screamed. I literally screamed out loud and woke up my dog. I can't even begin to describe the absolute beatdown that followed. Dex didn't just fight Cassius, he completely dismantled him. It was pure, unadulterated military precision. We are talking special ops level combat. Dex launched himself out of that secret wall alcove and took Cassius to the ground before the fake detective even knew what hit him. It was so fast, so brutal, and so incredibly satisfying to watch. I know some people think Dex is just another Jason clone, but personally, I think Dex has his own distinct flavor of badassery. He fights with this desperate, raw, feral energy. He was hitting Cassius with combinations that had me wincing in sympathy. Though let's be real, Cassius deserved every single punch and then some. Dex neutralized the threat in seconds, leaving Cassius completely unconscious on the cold stone floor. Then comes the emotional gut punch that we have all been waiting for. Dex turns to Josslyn, The lighting in that basement set was so cinematic, casting these harsh shadows across his bruised and dirty face. He looks at her and she looks at him, and the silence in that room was louder than a bomb dropping. You could cut the tension with a knife. Josslyn is just staring at him in absolute shock, her brain short-circuiting as she tries to process that the love of her life is standing right in front of her. "I thought you were dead," she whispers. "And guys, I started crying. I am not even ashamed to admit it. I am an absolute sucker for the 'I survived for you' trope, and this was executed flawlessly." Dex immediately goes into explanation mode because he knows she's about to freak out. He reveals that he had to fake his own death to escape Cyrus's hit squad. He knew that Cyrus was relentless, and if anyone in Port Charles, especially Josslyn or Sunny, knew he was alive, Cyrus would eventually find out. And if Cyrus found out, he would use Josslyn to get to Dex. So Dex made the ultimate sacrifice. He became a phantom. He let the woman he loves believe he was dead just to keep her safe. Can we just pause and think about the insane logistics of this for a second? Dex has been living in the Wyndemere catacombs. For God knows how long he has been navigating this endless, damp maze of tunnels beneath Spoon Island, hiding in the dark, eating whatever he could scrounge up, spying on the castle's inhabitants, and waiting for the right moment to strike back. It is so unhinged, but so perfectly General Hospital. He basically turned himself into the Phantom of the Opera, but instead of writing creepy musicals, he was just doing push-ups in the dark, surviving and plotting his next move. It explains so much about the random noises and the weird occurrences on the island lately. He was right there the whole time. Right under Jen Sidwell's nose, right under Ava Jerome's nose, and right under Cassius's nose. I know some fans in the forums are going to complain that this is wildly unrealistic. How did he survive without anyone noticing? Where did he get water? Look, we are watching a soap opera where a man is currently paralyzed in Carly's attic because Nina Reeves grabbed the wrong syringe during a scuffle. Realism left the building decades ago. I am here for the drama, and the drama is delivering on every single level. The angst of Dex having to watch Josslyn mourn him from afar, knowing he couldn't reach out to her without putting a massive target on her back, is just delicious. And then the universe brings her right to his hiding spot as a hostage. It is poetry. Dark, twisted Port Charles poetry. Okay, back to the point because the episode did not stop there. The writers gave us exactly 2 minutes of romantic reunion before ripping the rug out from under us again. Because happiness is not allowed in Port Charles. Just as Dex is holding Josslyn, promising to get her out of this nightmare, the alarms go off. The heavy steel doors of the catacombs echo with the sound of boots. A lot of boots. Because Ross Cullum has arrived. And he hasn't just brought a couple of rogue WSB agents. He has essentially surrounded the entire castle. Let's talk about Ross Cullum for a minute, because this guy is rapidly becoming one of the most terrifying, incompetent villains we have had in years. He is ruthless, he is calculating, and he is currently hunting literal teenagers. We already know from the previous scenes that he is after Danny and Charlotte Cassadine, who broke into Wyndemere and are also somewhere in these tunnels right now. I am terrified that they are all going to run into each other in the dark. Cullum has the island on complete lockdown. He knows someone is down there. He might not know it's Dex, but he knows Josslyn is a loose end, and Cullum does not leave loose ends. He already told Jack Brennan that he would be taken care of in the ICU, which is basically WSB code for murder. If Cullum's men find Josslyn, she is dead. Period. So now Dex is faced with an absolutely impossible situation. He has to get Josslyn off an island that is swarming with heavily armed, highly trained mercenaries led by a rogue WSB director. And he has to do it while keeping his own resurrection a secret. Or else Cyrus will just put another hit out on him the second he hits the mainland. The stakes have literally never been higher. Dex looks at Josslyn, grabs a weapon off the unconscious Cassius, and tells her they are going to have to carve a bloody path out of this place. Chills. Literal chills all over my body. Here's what I think is going to happen next week, and I am putting this on the record right now. Dex and Josslyn are going to navigate the tunnels, and they are going to bump into Danny and Charlotte. Remember, Danny is down there looking for leverage on Jen Sidwell, because he wants to free Jason, and Charlotte is just being her usual chaotic Cassadine self. Dex is going to have to play bodyguard to 3 teenagers while fighting off Cullum's elite hit squad. It is going to be an absolute bloodbath, and honestly, I am here for it. I want to see Dex go full John Wick on these guys. He's been hiding in the dark for too long. It is time for him to remind everyone in Port Charles exactly why he was Sonny's right-hand man and why Cyrus was so afraid of him. And what happens when the rest of Port Charles finds out what is happening on Spoon Island. Dante is currently losing his mind, trying to protect Rocco from Cullum. Dante is planning to put his entire family under armed guard. If Dante realizes that Cullum has trapped Josslyn, Danny, and Charlotte in Wyndemere, he is going to snap. We might actually see Dante and Dex team up to take Cullum down, which would be incredibly ironic, considering Dante's complicated history with Dex and his hatred for Sunny's enforcers. But desperate times call for desperate measures. And right now, everyone's kids are in the crosshairs of a madman. I am just so overwhelmed by how good this storyline has gotten. For a while, I felt like the Wyndemere hostage stuff was dragging. I was so tired of seeing Josslyn locked in that room, arguing with Cassius day after day. It felt like it was going nowhere. But this payoff, bringing Dex back from the dead in the most dramatic, action-packed way possible. It makes all those slow episodes. The writers actually managed to pull off a genuine surprise, and in the age of internet spoilers and leaked scripts, that is practically a miracle. I need to go drink some water and calm my heart rate down before I try to sleep. But I want to hear from all of you. Were you as shocked as I was when Dex stepped out of that wall? Ah, did you scream? Do you think he can actually get Josslyn off the island of death alive? And what is going to happen if they run into Danny and Charlotte in those tunnels? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your emotional breakdowns in the comments below. Let's process this trauma together, because I am definitely not going to be able to stop thinking about this until the next episode drops.